Well then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and it's time for another Premier League preview show. My apologies there. It looked like we had a few issues. I have changed my set-top Sky Wi-Fi box today, so I'm hoping it's going to be all right. I can't lie. So we've had a few technical hitches in the house, to be honest. So hopefully it's all right. I am all right. I'm not pixelated or out. You can all see me fine. All good.
Yeah, all
good
good.
stuff.
All
Good
good.
stuff. As you can see, we've got the regular, like the furniture, Mr. Corey from the Corey Show. I forget.
Story show, yeah.
My apologies, but Corey, how are you doing, mate? After last night, is everything good?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah,
Yeah?
I think it was a bit of a. Yeah, look, I mean, it's one of them ones, isn't it? I think because we've done so well in Europe, you kind of go out there and expect you're going to roll past them, but European football's tough, mate, especially in the semi-final. But I'm not too downtrodden. Like we just said, if Bayern puts that overhead kick in, I'll go about 4 flights of stairs down, and we've still got a chance in the second leg. So yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, hope so. We've got the returning Kendall as well, a Newcastle royalty fan, I think. Yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I'll take it.
How are you doing? All right?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, had a really good day. Looking forward to tomorrow. Not looking forward to the early kickoff. I hate the early kickoff. I can't even remember the last time we had an early kickoff, to be honest. So yeah, not looking forward to the early kickoff, but I am looking forward to the game. So yeah, it'll be interesting scenes tomorrow.
Good. I can't wait to talk about it because I'm really, really jealous of Newcastle and Bruno Guimaraes at the minute. I can't lie every time.
Sorry, I really just need to take that in a little bit because I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, I'm really jealous of Newcastle for about 20 years. So honestly, I'm just taking that in. I'm just going to replay that in my head a little bit now.
Yeah, do. The sky's the limit with you folks. You're lucky. And we've got the returning Dawn. It's nice to have you back, brother. We miss you. I'm always asking you, and you're always busy on a Thursday. But now we've had to move after the games yesterday. We've managed to get you on. How are you doing, brother? All good?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. The best return possible, because of course we are allies this weekend, so we shall see what happens. Hopefully, Leeds do get something against City. I'm excited, happy to get going. And listen, it's just timing because of Ramadan as well. So as you know,
yeah, no, 100%.
I'm happy to be here as always, Joe. As always.
Yeah, no, and just on that as well, I have a lot of Muslim friends. I work with Muslims, and I gave it a go. I set myself to do the 30 days. I don't know how you do it. I did a couple. Some I had to have water. I managed to do, bearing in mind I set out to do 30 days, I managed to do 2 full days with no water and no food. That is it. So I have complete respect for it, especially sportsmen as well. I'm like, how are they doing that? Because having experienced it, it's tough, man, and fair play. So yeah, big shout out to people that are. Well, it's finished tomorrow, right? You'll be done.
2 days, I think, left. 2 days.
Have we got 31 or 30? I don't know.
No, we started the day after the UK. So.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
We have to observe the crescent to start and stuff, so we started a day later.
Yeah, good. Cool. Right, let's get straight into it then. Before we do, smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to the guest channel as well. All the links are in the description. Comment, notification bell. I will get to as many of your comments as I can, so keep them coming in. We are going to start with Newcastle versus Liverpool. It is the early kickoff. Newcastle 6 in a row now, Kendall, flying. I gave a lot of grief to Eddie Howe, and he's coming, and I think it's a lot of people that aren't aware of what's actually going on the pitch and just assume that these new signings are all been playing since you brought them in and it's all because of the money. It's not factually correct. Do you know what I mean? Trippier's been out. Guimaraes has only really got into the side. I think the run prior to that, you were still playing Shelby, Willock, etc. So props need to be given to Eddie because he has done a fantastic job. And yeah, you must be flying at the minute, mate.
Do you know what? We can still get Europe. Do you know that?
Why not, man?
Do you know how funny that is? Sorry, it's not going to happen, obviously, but do you know how funny that is? I cannot express. We were literally 20th at Christmas. We were 20th at Christmas. 17th of December, we were 20th in the league. And we're now 9th, which is just insane. Like, absolutely insane. We've equaled the home record for 20 years. Just absolutely insane. And obviously, just to delight the panel, Hassan believes that the money has been the main factor.
Oh, does he?
Yes, he does. That's why I was like,
oh, right, okay, I didn't know that.
So, yeah. So, anyways, obviously, for everyone who thinks that and is on Hassan's side, yes, the money's helped. We're not going to deny that. Obviously, that's silly because we would never ever go and spend 90 million in January in our lives. We wouldn't even go and spend 90 million across the season before. So, obviously, it has helped. However, like Trippier has obviously been out since February. He only played 3 or 4 games. Dan Burn, fair enough. Matty Target's a loan signing, but I mean that's like 30 million. Dan Burn, Matty Target is only on loan.
Bruno Guimaraes been getting much game time though, Kendall.
Who? Sorry.
Has Target actually been?
Yeah, he's played every game since he came apart from the Aston Villa and that he wasn't allowed to play. Yeah, he's. I want him to be our first sign of the summer. Easy, spot on. Bruno Guimaraes only literally started 4 games ago. Got his first start 4 games ago. In the time before that, I think he'd only played like 60 minutes or something like that. Something really silly. Chris Wood's only scored 2 goals. So realistically, the signings, yes, they've obviously helped a little bit in terms of Bruno the last 4 games specifically, but they haven't been the be-all and end-all because the main standout players for us have been players that we already had. So Joe Linton, Shelvey, Shah, who's just signed a new contract today because that would never happen. He once, under Bruce, said in an interview for Sky Sports that we were shit and then he never got to play again. Like literally Bruce is like, nah, see you later. I don't like the truth. Like get away. We're going to not play you for 6 months. So there's like being players like that. Emil Kraft, who I was like, if he leaves, I will celebrate. I don't want to see him in a Newcastle shirt ever again. I don't mind if he renews his contract. Crack on, Emil Kraft. I actually feel a bit sorry if he gets taken out of the team now. So yeah, it's been a mixture of both. Obviously, signings don't always gel together. We've seen that millions of times before. So yeah, I'm absolutely cloud nine at the moment.
And do you know what the main thing? I listened to Guimaraes' interview. I'm probably butchering his name, but I think when he scored...
apparently that's how you say it, but I'm not going to say that in my Geordie accent every single time. So just to let everyone know, it'll be Guimaraes.
I listened to the interview after. I think he'd scored his first header of his career.
Ever.
Yeah. And he said, I want to be a legend here. I want to play 100 games and all that sort of stuff. And I was speaking to these before saying, like, it's so lucky because normally when you get an elite player who comes into your club, like you could look at like Leeds United and Rafinha, for example. I already know he's leaving at some point, With yourselves, because of the situation you find you in, when you're hearing him say that, it's like, well, he's going to be sticking around, like, because we're going to be able to invest and make the squad bigger, etc., etc. So it must be just class. And
we've not had that, we've not had that for God knows how long, really. Like since the early 2000s under Bobby, I wouldn't say. I don't even think when we got like 5th in Europe, I wouldn't even say like, sorry, not 5th in Europe, 5th in the league, and we got into Europe under Pardew. I wouldn't even say that like we had that caliber of player even come then, because like yes, like Cabaye and stuff. Obviously, a lot of Newcastle fans are saying that the last person that they saw like Bruno was Cabaye at the club, which is fair enough. But even then, like now, at least we don't have to worry like in 2 years that he could be gone. Like the Real Madrid rumours have like really started circulating the past few days, and that Real Madrid want him in the summer. And I'm just laughing now because I quite physically am comfortable with the fact that that's probably unlikely to happen. Yeah. So, which is mad. Like it's genuinely insane. So yeah, can't believe I'm not even being. I'm genuinely don't have a negative word to say at the minute. No negatives at all.
Yeah, it's been quite the turnaround, hasn't it, Corey? Are you awake still, bro?
Sorry.
It's all right, don't worry.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, Bruno's unbelievable. I was watching the highlights for the Norwich game, and that finish where he dinks it over the keeper is just nuts. He's so talented. He can play the 6, he can play the 8. It's just they've just got. He looks like he will be a world-class player. I hate to say it, and I think Eddie Howe's he's dealt with him in the right way. He's kind of fostered that mentality around the squad, and now he's introduced him. And it's not easy, but when you see a player of that ilk come in and then adapt that quickly, it does concern me a bit because you got a player, and I think Arsenal probably kicking themselves, thinking actually we should have gone and spent that 40 mil because he's going to be there for a long, long time. So I've been so impressed with Newcastle. I really, really have. I think there are times this season when they've ground it out. I remember Villa at home where I was really impressed, and I didn't think Eddie Howe actually had that in him. And he's got the best out of what he's got. I know he brought in a few players. Joe Linton's is just a different ball game now as a number 8. So, yeah, I thought Eddie Howe was a decent coach. So I kind of feel half vindicated in my head that I knew.
You did but you did champion it at the time. Yeah, I was saying all the time he's getting sacked and Rafa's coming in. That was my.
It's a tough one backing that horse because I know what he was like at Bournemouth, and I know I thought he got a lot out of a team that shouldn't have really been where it was at, and I just thought maybe. And I think Sky were talking about how when he was off, he's been in and around Europe and he's been visiting these different coaches and
he shadowed Simeone and Klopp over the summer, like last summer as well. So,
and I like it's just a good personality, and I'm comfortable now with Newcastle because I know where they're at. But when it comes to next season and they start pushing in the same sort of places, I'm going to be like, yeah, right, that's enough. You've had your fun.
Yeah, exactly. Don, obviously, we're all gushing over Newcastle at the minute. I think it'll be nice, to be honest, to see them break in and upset some more of them big teams. I have no problem with yourselves and City and stuff, but I want to see some of the other sides get pulled further down towards mid-table. Do you know what I mean? It'd be nice that. So it's good, but all this hype and all this positiveness around Newcastle at the minute, can they cause an upset at St. James against for me, at the minute, on form, the best team in the world?
It's crazy hearing you guys, compliment Newcastle as much. It's crazy what so much money can do. A takeover, you uplift the squad, you just spend so much money, and suddenly you go up the table. If Eddie Howe had the same team that Steve Bruce did, they go down. It's as simple as that. He literally
has the same
Kendall,
team.
did I interrupt you, Kendall? Can I have my moment?
No, you didn't. Go on.
Can I have my moment,
Go on.
Kendall?
I'll let you have your moment.
Let me have my moment. I'm going to explain to the people. So when you make a signing, it's not necessarily about the signing starting. It's about the signing coming into the dressing room, uplifting everyone around them. Now, when Newcastle lose or get a bad result, they don't look around and see the same old faces. There's 5-6 different faces there. It's a different reaction. You spend that much money, it shows ambition. So everyone gets, that ambitious feeling as well. So without money, Newcastle wouldn't be in this position. Eddie Howe has done a fantastic job, yes, but without money, they also wouldn't be in this position. Money is a massive part of it. Let's not just sweep it under the rug. If Steve Bruce, if the same team that Steve Bruce had, Eddie Howe had, they would probably be, okay, Eddie Howe is a good manager, so they'd probably be, 17th, 16th, probably be where Leeds are now. They wouldn't be as high up the table if that happened. Now, to your question, whether they can cause an upset, no, they can't. And the reason is because Newcastle, in my opinion, have nothing to fight for. They're possibly just booking their flights already. I had a Newcastle fan come on my show yesterday. He said, I've already booked my trip to Malaga. I'm like, okay, there you go. Even you as a fan, you're like, okay, we're good. We're safe. There's nothing really to fight for. I know Kendall spoke about Europe, but that's probably a bit too far, I'd say. Like,
I don't think we're going to get into Europe.
unless you win everything. Now, I'm talking about Conference League, like the 8th spot. Yeah, but I think you have
Man
to
United, don't worry about that.
Yes, 100%. And I want United to get it as well, so it just ruins their season. But I think with Newcastle, listen, I don't want this to come back and bite me. St. James's Park is not an easy place to go. It was so much easier to go earlier on in the season. But this is Liverpool FC, with all due respect to Newcastle. So I don't look at Newcastle as a threat yet. And you guys, all of you guys gushing over them, I told Kendall this from the start. I told her I'll be the only one from the start to tell you I hate this, and not 5 years later come and tell you I hate it and you've spent money. I from the start have been hating. So at least I've been consistent, because all of you guys, you see what you're doing right now. Corey said it, by the way, indirectly in the end. He's like, I'm comfortable where they're at now, but if they start getting 4th, 5th, 3rd, suddenly Corey isn't that comfortable. Suddenly he hates Newcastle.
If they're getting 3rd, I'm not worrying about it because we ain't going to be anywhere near that. So they can.
Come on, Corey.
But I feel for them. They had Mike Ashley for God knows how long. Like I know what it's like to have dodgy owners, so that's why.
Listen, there's a difference between being good and finishing like 3rd, 4th, contending for the title, God forbid. So listen, I hear it. You want to change and stuff, but I don't know. I think it's gonna take a while with Newcastle. So we'll see what happens this transfer window and this summer. But I'm not worried. I think we got this. Even though I probably think Klopp might rotate a little bit for Saturday.
Still, are you confident of the quad?
I'm never confident of the quad. I've never said we're going to win the quad. There's a reason why, no English club previously has won the quad. The City Centurions didn't win the quad. The United team didn't win the quad. Chelsea didn't win the quad. No one won it. It's that difficult. And now that I'm involved in it, I realize how difficult it is, because it's not normal for us to be going into May and still have about like 12, 13 games left. That's the mad part. Like, there's so many games left. We still have an FA Cup final against Chelsea, and the FA Cup is the one thing I think we're going to lose, because it's just like a cursed trophy for us. We were going to win the quadruple in 1984, but lost the FA Cup. So the FA Cup is just like this cursed, annoying trophy. If it wasn't for Stevie G, Corey would be celebrating the FA Cup 2006. We lost it to Chelsea in 2012. We got eliminated by Villa in the semi. It's just the FA Cup is just this bad trophy for us. I don't know what it is. So that's the one thing I think we will falter in. However, I think we will win the Champions League, and I think we will win the Premier League. The one thing that's stopping me is the FA Cup from the quadruple.
It'd be, I know. Listen, I won't mind it. I won't mind if City. I don't mind either side, me. It is what it is. I'm just glad it's not Man United. I'm glad it's not Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? So I'm good. I'm good with that, mate. Do you think, Don, these... I was listening to something earlier, doing a bit of research just ahead of the City game as well, and yourselves play Newcastle and Spurs in the next two games. Do you feel like this is the time in the season, the remaining fixtures, where the league will be decided, knowing that City, I mean, you probably think they're going to steamroll Leeds, but they've got Welland Road, they've got Newcastle then the week after, I think. So is this the time where it could be an issue? Spurs, it won't be an easy game.
Listen, when it comes to City's fixtures, as soon as they drew to Palace and the difference became 1 point, I immediately pointed out 3 games. I pointed out West Ham, Wolves, and Aston Villa on the last day of the season for different reasons. I think West Ham have done really well against the big clubs this season. They've already beaten us. They've beaten Chelsea. They've beaten City already, beaten United, blah, blah, blah. So they've done really well. Wolves is probably, from a football perspective, the toughest game left. Aston Villa is just the storyline. And we all know Premier League storylines sometimes do happen because of the Gerrard connection, obviously. But for some reason, Joe, and I never say this unless I actually feel it, for some reason, the more and more this Leeds versus Manchester City game approaches, the more I feel like something is going to happen. And I cannot explain the feeling because it is illogical. Because logic dictates City are going to smash Leeds. But, I'm just going, it's just a feeling inside me that Leeds are going to get something. And I think Leeds will be safe. So, listen, for us, the only tough game, in my humble opinion, is the Spurs game. Spurs at home, Antonio Conte is going to come and stink it out, park the bus, blah, blah, blah. But bar that, I think the rest of the games are winnable, and in my opinion, should be easy wins for us because we're locked in as well. And you have games like the Newcastle one, the Southampton one. Maybe if you face these clubs like in January, February, it's different. But right now, they're kind of safe, nothing really to fight for, can't get into Europe, can't get relegated. So, I just think the motivation possibly isn't there for those teams. So,
yeah. I mean, I can't deny watching Liverpool at the minute. They just look unbelievable, to be fair. So, I mean, what they did to Villarreal, I mean, that was like another training game. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit of a mad one. I didn't go along with all
what we did to Man United, Joe. Did you see that?
No, but of course, man, I enjoyed that. Yeah, of course, I seen that. Do you know what I mean? I know 9 unanswered.
9-0. 9.
Yeah. I know, it's amazing, mate. It's amazing. Corey, how do you give Newcastle a hope? Let's get some score predictions.
Yeah, I think 2-0 Liverpool. I just think, don't get me wrong, I think Newcastle give a good account of themselves, but Liverpool at the minute and that midfield with Thiago's looking quite tasty. So I think, they're mad to watch. I mean, that front five, the fact that Klopp now can change it whenever he needs to, I just think it's too much.
2-0. Yeah, I do fancy Newcastle to score. It'd be interesting to see if they score first, what it will do. But I think 3-1 Liverpool. Kendall?
Obviously, I never predict us to lose because I feel like if we lose, then it's my fault. I say this every single time. I always say this, so I never ever predict us to lose, even if I think we're going to lose. I never predict us to lose. So the next best thing is obviously a draw because I don't see us winning. I mean, if we did, then wow. But I don't see us winning. So the next best thing is a draw. So I've gone 2-2 all week. Whether or not I believe that is up to you not to decide, right? Mind your business. But yeah, so I've just got 2-2 just because then I'm like in the middle. And if we win, then it's like, get in. I didn't expect us to win. And if we lose, no one can blame me. So that's what I always do.
2-2. What's Don going for? Come on.
I think Newcastle will score. I just feel like this is going to be one of those dramatic games. But I think we come away victorious 3-2. I think Newcastle score twice as well, but we win the game.
Well, 3-2 be a nice game to watch. So yeah, I'm all for that. Let's bring it on then to you mentioned earlier, Don, we're allies this weekend. Leeds United.
Come on, Leeds.
Yes. Leeds United take on Manchester City. It's mad, man, because listen, Pep don't have it all his own way against Leeds. We took 4 points off them last season. I know obviously earlier on this season they battered us 7-0. But I don't think you'll see the same game, obviously, because my man Bielsa's not in charge. The fact that
I'm just laughing at you and Bielsa because I was just laughing at you.
So disappointed as well.
I do, man. I get battered. I've started actually getting battered by people who watch my show. Because someone said to me the other day, fans like you now make me cringe when I hear the word Bielsa, and I was like, that's a bit harsh. That's harsh.
That was like me. I used to do it to Rafa all the time. Like, I used to compare Steve Bruce to Rafa all the time. I used to be like, oh, remember when Rafa? And everyone used to be like, shut up. Like, he's literally been gone 3 years. And I still used to relate everything to Rafa every single time.
Just to give you a bit of insight, like I get hammered. I've been hammered for this, but this is the difference, right? We have Bielsa, who gave me liquid football, who gave me the best football I've ever seen. And then Jesse Marsh is talking in his press conference about they did a competition in training to see who could take the longest throw. And it turns out, no, I'm serious, Corey.
No,
listen to this. Rafinha won. So Rafinha were taking long throws against Palace. Like, what? I was like, I've gone through this
I can't.
to seeing my best player underutilized in a system with no width, and you're putting him on throws, and then people are going back Marsh, and I'm like, I'm not too sure.
But do you know how I can't explain how stereotypically American that sounds as well.
I know, right?
To do that, that is just like, oh my god, that's so funny. I remember Jack Grealish said about Steve Bruce that he literally his training, he got everyone in a group, chucked the ball in the middle, and went, go and have a training game.
No.
So that's literally what it's reminding me of.
Yeah. No, but someone said on Twitter, having a competition to see who can do what. It's like under-8 stuff. Do you know what I mean?
If Moisey was pulling stuff like that, I'd be going, maybe we shouldn't. Don't communicate. I think he means well. Don't get me wrong, Marsh. I think he does mean well. But I watched you on Monday and I couldn't. I really tried to figure out what was going on.
What were you doing?
And I was looking for stuff, and I'm looking at Calvin, and Calvin's kind of. Where's my role now? I'm not alone DM anymore. Do I go and press? Do I sit? And I'm like, I
was actually having a private conversation with someone who's a content creator. I won't say their name because they might not want me to say it, but I was speaking to them about Calvin, and we were saying you might have seen the best of him in a Leeds United shirt now, and that sounds sad, and people might not think, but I just don't see the system that we're employing under Marsh getting the best out of Calvin. It's so central, it's so compact that when he gets the ball, is he able to play his awesome diags and stuff? No, not really. I don't know. I'm the jury's still out for me, and I hope that we will continue to see Calvin rise. But I'm just not too sure at the minute, and I'll get battered for it. And people are saying, "Oh, you need to give him time and all that sort of stuff," and I will, of course, and I'm accepting of it at the minute because we're in a relegation dogfight. I just want to stay up, but know that if we're playing this way and we're 10 games into next season and we're still in the Premier League, then I'm not on board.
I did feel sorry for him though, because he did a Sky Sports interview and he was like, I know people don't like my accent. And I was like, I feel so sorry for him. Yeah. That's just me feeling sorry for him though.
I did I will just address this. Of course, I back him because he's in charge of my football team. But what I'm saying is, I'm not enjoying what I'm being served up, and maybe because I've been used to such brilliant football under Bielsa, that it is hard. How can you go from to then? I think, like you said, like Corey said, he's not helping himself because you shouldn't be telling people you're having throwing competitions and then your best players doing long throws and the throws, and people have said it in the comments, were gash. They were bad. They weren't even long. So it's like, don't do it, bro. Like,
people like act like you can't back a manager, but also be like criticizing them. Like,
yeah, exactly,
for some reason, football fans think you either have to be 100% in or you're not 100% in. Like, that's just, it's either one or the other. Yet you don't like them. If you're criticizing, despite the fact that you back them, it means that you don't like them. Like, you're not allowed to be logical. You're not allowed to have logic or thoughts on either side of the coin, unfortunately.
Has that just zapped any confidence you have in this fixture, Don, hearing me mention the style?
Listen, go team, Leeds Soccer Club. Let's do this. I'm all for it. I'm here for it. I just do not know what it is. I've already said it's illogical because, it applies no logic whatsoever. But whenever I have a feeling about something, it just happens. And I just feel like Leeds are going to get a draw out this game. They're going to shithouse it. Typical, like as if I'm watching Tony Pulis type shit. And Man City are just going to keep missing chances and missing chances and missing chances. Shout out to Tony Pulis. He probably never thought he's going to get a shout out this, but shout out to Tony Pulis. I miss him in this league. But anyway, thank God Sean Dyche is gone. But when it comes to Leeds, I just think they're going to get something. I think your best player, in my opinion, or second best player, and better than Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips is back. It's a positive in my opinion. I think I just think Ellen Road, you've done this before as well, like the same set of players, like you said. I think not the season we won the league, the season after that, you did get 4 points off of Manchester City.
We beat them at the Etihad as well. So. Yeah,
you beat them at the Etihad and got a draw at Ellen Road. So it's possible, and I'm backing it. I think this game ends in a draw, 1-1. I think that's what I think can happen. Leeds probably score like a very dodgy goal. I'm calling it now. It'll be no system, nothing fluid. Just gonna be 100% dodgy. It rebounds off someone's armpit and shit like that, and someone's there to just knock it in. But with Manchester City, I just feel like what they're gonna do, what they did against Palace, is what they'll do against Leeds. Have 100 chances, possibly score one, maybe not, and it ends in a draw, 1-1. So we go top of the league this Saturday. That's what I think.
Yeah. I hope we can get something because, as I say, Burnley, Everton breathing down our necks for sure. Corey, how can Leeds take anything? I think we have Dan James as an outlet. I know finishing and final ball not great.
Where's Bamford?
He's still out, bro. I think he might be back for the last 2 games, they're saying, and that'll be Brighton and Brentford. So he's out for a few weeks. So, Dan James leading the line. Look, he was ineffective against Palace, but against these top sides who will play with a high line, who will dominate the ball, he's going to be key, I think, if we can find him, get him in behind. And City do have issues at the back. Stones is out. Walker's not playing, which is a plus. I think Cancelo will come back in because he was suspended for the Madrid game. So obviously he's elite. But maybe because they have Real Madrid and it's still in the balance, tie, Corey, he has to make changes. But even still, Sterling will probably play Gundogan, Grealish. So how do you see it going, Corey? Do you give us any chance, or is it going to be City win?
I can't really, to be honest. Like what I've watched, I just thought there's not enough chance creation for me. I think that's the biggest thing. It just is one thing trying to get over the high line. There's another thing being able to find Dan James, and Guardiola's going to know that. He's obviously going to watch Leeds and think actually they are going to try to exploit. The only thing I'd say is they brought Diaz back in now. I think he's come back from injury, so that will give them a lift. I just think they'll be too strong. And also the thing that concerned me about Leeds was you're trying to play out from the back and your passing is really poor, and you can't afford that against Man City with their press. So unfortunately, I think it will be a 3-1. Maybe you can nick something, but I don't think City let up. I don't think City can let up. They've literally have to win. But it's the same with Liverpool, really. So I can't see anything else.
There's like a little part of me like, imagine if Newcastle got a result at half-12, then we're definitely getting beat because there's no way City are losing that game. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Newcastle get a result, Pep's like, forget the Champions League. You do not lose at Ellen Road. Do you know what I mean? At that time, he probably changes his lineup, man. He probably has it in the morning, then they get beat at half-12, and he's like, nah, right, we're going full strength. So there's a little part of me thinks just let Liverpool beat Newcastle, and then City might, you know, take their foot off a little bit. But yeah, look, I think Leeds will score. I think we will score. I think the first 15 minutes are key. City, as I say, I was doing some research. I think they've scored the most goals in the first 15 minutes across the whole Europe's top 5 leagues. So if they blast us away within that time, probably be a long afternoon. But the longer we can keep it tight, more chance we've got. But I did say 3-1 City as well. Unfortunately, I can't see us getting out. Kendall, how do you give Leeds any hope against City at home?
That's the thing. I think it'll depend on obviously our result. I know you can't change a team and stuff in that short space of time, and if you've worked on something all week, whatever, I know you won't be able to change, but obviously our result is gonna really depend on how they start and how they approach that game. So yeah, I wouldn't expect Leeds to be going in and win this game, because that's just logic, as we said, just logic. But yeah, it completely depends, and I don't know. But yeah, I think 3-1 is probably a good shout, Joe. I think you will definitely score. But yeah, it's just one of those fixtures that something can happen. Like, it's just like you never really know what's going to happen, especially with Leeds, because you guys are just so like unpredictable at times that you just don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, 3-1.
3-1. There you go. Don Hassan back in Leeds, though. I love that. Listen, for me, right, I'm not at the game, right? I'm my friend's going in my place, but I was thinking, like, if we somehow get a result, my watch along will go off, because I'll have Liverpool fans, I'll have all sorts in there. So yeah, it'd be nice. I think I've gone all fuzzy. My Wi-Fi's dropped a little sec, but it will come back. Bear with it. Let's talk about a Sunday game. I want to talk about Everton versus Chelsea. Hassam, you spoke about stories, and I have this horrible lurking notion that Lampard at home beats the team that sacked him, and I can't deal with that, because that would mean Everton, you know, would get closer to us, and then we have to really start thinking about Leeds as being properly in the fight if we're not already. Do you know what I mean? Do you see Everton getting a result at home against Chelsea at all?
First of all, Joe, when I came on this show last time, I told you, once again, listen, guys, I just do spoilers. I don't do predictions. I spoil it for the people. I said, as soon as Lampard was appointed, I said Everton are going down. Joe looked at me and said, really, Everton going down? And I said, yes, they are. They're in the relegation zone right now. They are going to go down. Frank Lampard, love him, hate him, is the wrong manager to get in a relegation battle. Your feeling is not going to happen, Joe, because Chelsea are just too much for Everton. Honestly, watching Everton is just so, like, it's just pathetic, honestly, the shit that they do on the football pitch. I think with, of course, Man United let you down as well, as always, allowing Everton to get points. But I think with Everton, I genuinely believe they're going to go down. I think now with Burnley as well, sacking Sean Dyche, you know, that gives them a lift. Jesse Marsh coming in for Leeds. And when you look at Everton's remaining fixtures, I think they're all difficult, possibly bar Brentford. I think Brentford's possibly the only easy or winnable game. The rest of them are all just difficult, because they have to play Chelsea. I think they have to go away to Arsenal. They have to play, if I am not mistaken, I think Palace. So there's no real easy game there. I think Lampard's the wrong person in the wrong place. Big up. I think you know, it's just the wrong person in the wrong place, and I think Everton are going to go down. And this week, I still think Chelsea. First of all, I just want to address one thing. At the start of the season, Chelsea fans were yap. Tuchel this, Klopp legacy, blah blah blah. I just want to say, before we get into trophy talk or any of this stuff with Chelsea play top 3 most boring football in this whole league. Genuinely speaking, top 3 most boring football. The best nap I've had this season is after Chelsea games. I just lay down on my bed and I'm asleep for 4 hours. That's how shit football Chelsea plays. Genuinely, I've never seen worse football. Them and Man United are competing for top spot in terms of worst football to watch in this league. It's just so horrendous to watch, so dreadful. However, I think Tuchel, German managers right now, when you look at them, Hansi Flick, Jurgen Klopp, Thomas Tuchel, I think they have like a certain mentality they instill into their players of keep fighting, win every game, etc. Never feel like you're on the beach or anything. And the thing is with Chelsea, because they drew against Man United, they're going to have to do that bounce back thing and bounce back against Everton. So I think Chelsea do beat Everton, and Everton will be 18th place, and they will go down this season, Joe. And I told you so 4 months ago, just so you know.
Yeah, it'd be sweet as a nut, mate, if they did. Honestly, it would be amazing. I know, Corey, you'd enjoy it as well. Do you know what I'm finding funny as well, Corey? This constant whining by our best friend, Mr. Lampard. Why do they continue to? Why do they continue to write to the referee board? Like, what is all that about? Like, for me, Anthony Gordon's weren't even a pen. I'll say it. I don't think. I think it was debatable.
Thank you.
So the fact it was debatable, why are you writing to the referees board? It wasn't a stone wall. Do you know what I mean?
You're talking about both of them. You don't think both of them were penalties?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, both weren't penalties.
No.
He actually got ahead of Matip and then fell before Matip even touched him. If you watched it in slow motion.
Yeah, I thought the first one definitely wasn't a penalty. He dived. I was a bit seen a couple of angles of the second one, but yeah, look, it's typical Lampard tactics, isn't it? Really, just moan about it and unarticulate it and take every bit of attention away from the coaching. I've got a sneaky feeling he's going to nick a draw at home. I've just got this sort of thing that he's going to pull something off. I think the thing is with Lampard is he kind of, I don't know how he does it, because I don't feel that he's a brilliant coach, but when he has these type of games where it's back to the wall, he will get a performance out of it. So I think with Chelsea at the minute, again, when they played us with essentially 6 changes, no Dek, no Antonio, no Bowen, they were very poor. Like, I was surprised how poor they were. So maybe they can nick something at home. I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. No, I hear you. There is a little bit of that worry, just because, like Don mentioned earlier, Kendall. You do see these sort of things in football where the manager returns to his club, and do you see any, like, Everton are good at home? That is the place where they do win games. If it was away, I'm convinced. But maybe it's because I'm in that relegation fight that I'm just convinced that everything's going to go against us. But do you think Chelsea have too much for them?
I mean, on paper you would, but Chelsea haven't really played the best football this season that we've ever seen of them. I have not enjoyed watching them this season at all at times. They've really struggled, I think, in terms of their style and choosing what kind of style of football they want to play. So, yeah, obviously, as you say, it's always like these things happen and these results seem to happen when it's like unexpected. It's a written storyline. It's just total coincidence that's going to happen. But for me, I really want Everton to go down. Really, really desperate for Everton to go down. I'm even at a point now where I wouldn't mind if we chuck the last game, if we're safe, if we chuck the last game at home, away to Burnley, I would not care. I'll be like, yes, send Everton down. Just do it. Just send Everton down. Can't stand them. I can't stand the fans. Honestly, just everything about Everton, I hate. Okay, hate's maybe a strong word, but I strongly dislike. So, yeah, I need Chelsea to win. Personally, I need Chelsea to win. I don't care if Burnley stay up. I'm not bothered about them now. They don't bother me at all. So I would like it to be Everton, Watford, and Norwich who go down for me. So yeah. The Scouse Mac and Fume will be so nice if they go down. It'll just be fantastic things.
I love that. Listen, I don't have nothing against Everton. I do like Everton.
I do.
But it's the manager.
Ooh.
It's the manager for me.
Extra hatred.
Yeah. It's just even the fact that their fans are even convinced he's not the problem either. They're blaming everyone else and saying, "Oh, he's been dealt a bad hand," and
The thing is, right? You know what's going to happen, don't you? They're going to blame Rafa. They're going to blame Rafa Benitez for them going down.
I replied to that tweet,
yeah,
Kendall.
They're going to
stats, man.
They're already blaming him. They're going
to blame him. And the weird thing is, what on earth has Frank Lampard done in his career to want Everton fans to beg to get him as the manager? I was so confused. I genuinely, to this day, will never ever understand it. And now they're just seeing karma now, because it's just like you got this, you got what you wished for, and look what's happening.
Yeah. Do you know what I've got saved in my bookmarks? The video of him and Dele Alli meeting at the training ground where they go, "We did it." I can't wait. Like, because if they go down, best believe that's getting tweeted out when he meets him and he goes, "We did it." Yes, you did, Frank. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, can't wait, man. Fingers crossed anyway. Let's another little bit of a managerial merry-go-round. I just want to get your opinion on this quickly because I am conscious that you'll need to shoot and stuff soon. The Dean Smith derby, Villa take on Norwich City. Listen, I'm a big fan of Gerrard as opposed to Frank Lampard, but it has gone a little, well, not sour. I don't think sour is the right word.
Look at this Kendall. Unbelievable. Kendall's already smiling. She's ready to rip into him, honestly.
Oh, really? Okay. I am a big fan, though. I can't lie. And I think, you know, I even said before he moved to Villa, I would have liked him as a replacement for the big man. And I got hammered for it off Leeds fans at the time. And then he went to Villa and he did all right.
Well done, Leeds fans.
So talk to me then. Do you think he's not doing a good job, Kendall? No, there's nothing there for Villa?
Look, I always call him Orad. This is what everyone thinks. A man of aura. It's Stephen Orad right now. That's all he has. He got absolutely bigged up like Lampard in the media. Everyone was bigging him up. You know, Gerrard's going to come in, going to do an incredible job. This, that, and the other. He lost like 6 on the bounce or something as well. Like he had 6 defeats in a row. And like genuinely, he's another team. Another club that have spent quite a bit of money on transfers, albeit not under him, to be fair. But yes, he did spend a significant chunk in January. And they don't look that amazing. You would not believe that, though. You would not know that if you had listened to everybody else and if you'd listened to the media. So, you know, I just don't understand. The problem is, it's like I don't understand how they big up these managers, yet like other managers who are doing a good job, like Patrick Vieira, for example, straight away he was getting relegated. It was like, he's going to get Crystal Palace relegated. He's going to be the first manager sacked. Like,
I said that, you know.
So many people did. You're not even the only one. And people still now will say things like, oh, you know, Lampard deserves better. I'm like, what on earth has Lampard done in his genuinely...
What do you put that down to then, Kendall?
It's the English media bias every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Do you think it goes as deep as like race and that as well? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, 100% goes as deep as this. But then it's weird because on the other part, it's like how now, for example, he's getting like, obviously, it's only because of the money. Like he's not, his coaching job is not being looked at like as deeply as other managers would.
Yeah. No,
so it's like weird. I don't get it. It's just like that like golden boy thing because like they played for England and like things. It's just certain things like that. It just runs that deep. It's just so bizarre. So yeah, I don't.
I hear, and do you know what? Right, like them stats that I put on about Lampard, right, and I'm gonna have to find the tweet, right. I nicked that. Obviously, I'm not a stato, right. I was listening to a podcast, and they reeled all these stats off. So they were like, they're on this podcast anyway. It's Football Writers, right? That's not the name of the podcast, but they are writers. And he reels off these stats and he goes, so Frank Lampard then, he says, you know, I really want him to do well. This writer's a Chelsea fan. And, you know, he says, however, they had multiple games in hand, you know, basically he's took them backwards. They've got less touches in the box, less XG, less shots, everything less. And then he asks Darren Lewis, who's another writer, I think Mail or Mirror or whatever. And he says, so is it, bearing in mind, he's listed this long list off, right? And then he goes, yeah, it's not Frank's fault. I was listening to it going, like, are you hearing yourselves? And then today I was listening to one and they're saying, I don't understand why everyone wants Everton to go down. And then the guy said, I don't think it is Frank Lampard. It's because they dislike Everton and the way they've dealt with it and how they've dealt with Frank and what they did to Rafa. I'm like, no, it's as simple as everyone hates
It's
Frank.
Like that tweet we saw, Joe, where they were like, oh, it was all Rafa did a horrible job. His recruitment was crap. Why did we even sign Rafa? And then literally in the same sentence was like, feel really sorry for Frank.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you on about? It doesn't make any sense.
It's mad, isn't it? It is mad. The only thing is, like, if he gets them relegated, it means we're going to have to see him on TV because he'll get a job at BT or Sky within a heartbeat and he'll be on our TVs every night. And I can't deal with that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, we were talking about Gerrard. Well, I've managed to get it back to Lampard. Dawn will be away. You'll need to shoot soon. Has Gerrard done a good job, or are we, are we being too judgmental too early doors? Do we need to give him this summer?
It's funny how, a lot of people will tell you Patrick Vieira should win the manager of the season, and he's done this fantastic, amazing job. Yet he has 1 point more than Steven Gerrard currently on the table, and he's had the whole season to play and the preseason. Patrick Vieira has 8 wins in 33. Steven Gerrard has 8 wins in 22. So one of them's apparently amazing. The other guy is apparently shit. It's just numbers.
No, I don't think Gerrard's bad. I genuinely don't. I like Gerrard. I want him to do.
Can I speak on my idol, please?
Yes,
can I speak on my hero?
Go. You
if Alan Shearer were managing Aston Villa, you'd be doing the same thing, Kendall, and you know it. You know how much I ride for Steven. Let me just say
Alan Shearer would never manage Aston Villa, thank you, but go ahead.
He probably would. But anyway, listen. When it comes to Stevie G came into Aston Villa when they were in a relegation battle. Let's not do revisionist history. They were 17th, about to go down under Dean Smith. He's now Aston Villa are 100% safe. It's not like they're gonna go down or anything. He's come in mid-season. He's gotten fantastic wins. He's won away at Goodison 1-0. He's kept clean sheets against strong teams as well. He's beaten Crystal Palace. The fantastic Patrick Vieira and the job he's doing. He beat them as well. I just feel like he is doing a great job, yes. But there are certain things, remember, Joe, we've had these discussions before. Aston Villa, for example, employ the worst defender in this whole league, known as Tyrone Mings, who is single-handedly trying to ruin Gerrard's legacy as a manager. And the reason why the Lampard and Gerrard thing does not work as a comparison, Stevie G went to Rangers when they were 3rd, and won them the league invincible Centurions, stopped Celtic from doing 10 in a row. That is an accomplishment. So he at least has a league title under his belt. He spoke on it 100 times. He said as soon as he got to Scotland, the main thing was don't get Celtic to win 10 in a row. That was the aim. That was the objective. Win a league title. And they've done that. They did really well in Europe as well. Now he's coming to Aston Villa. He's done a good job. I'm not going to say it's amazing. I'm not going to say it's shit. He's done a good job. He's taken them out of the relegation battle. We're going to see now if he's backed properly this summer transfer window. They get in a couple of signings. The players who are injured comes back. But I think when you look at Aston Villa on paper, there's a lot of players that you probably rate that shouldn't be rated as highly, like the likes of Danny Ings, who miss easy chances week in, week out, like the likes of Ollie Watkins, Tyrone Mings, etc. They have good players, 100%, but Aston Villa is one of those teams that looks so much more stronger on paper than they actually are when they perform on the football pitch. You could get Pep Guardiola to coach that team. Some of them are just not good enough. Like, they have good players like John McGinn, Douglas Luiz is good. I think Konsa is a good defender. Coutinho, of course, is good. But I think Gerrard has actually done a good job in terms of he came in there. They were 17th. They were literally going to get into a relegation battle. He did well with them. They're safe. He established some sort of playing style. They played against Manchester City. They played against Liverpool. Didn't lose 5-6-0. They lost 2-1 and 1-0. So he's played well against the big teams as well. So I think Stevie G has done a good job, and I think next season will be telling. If you look at the reverse, Frank Lampard came in when Everton were 15th. They're 18th now. That's someone who's actually taken the club massively behind, and exactly what you said. But Villa under Stevie G has improved, and step by step they're going in the right direction. So now we just have to wait to the transfer window and make a final call on Stevie G next season. And he has amazing aura as well. So if you edited a 50 Cent song while Lampard is walking, it wouldn't hit. It simply wouldn't hit. But with Gerrard, he just has the aura. You saw how he was looking at the Everton fans, and Many Men is playing in the background. It's just amazing. The aura of Stevie G is just incredible.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Kendall, I know you need to leave us soon, so thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me again.
You get a good result tomorrow.
Fingers crossed.
Boo!
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Hello.
Thank you. Make sure you follow Kendall on her channel. I think she's going to be on the Trippers a little bit later on as well. I've seen a comment come in from one of the Tripper fans as well. I'm well liked over there for my disdain for Lampard, so yeah, I'll have to go back. Corey, what are your thoughts on Stevie G? Has it been the right appointment?
I think it will be. I think Sam covered it probably exactly how I feel, where he has gone. He's obviously coached in the Liverpool under-18s. I think I watched him on the Overlap talking about it, and his whole approach to coaching is a lot more intelligent and well-developed than Lampard's. And he has one thing. So I think Villa, though, and I did look at the league table the other day and went 15th. Because at one point they were pushing top half. I was thinking, they're going to start clicking into gear. But I think Villa, when you look at it, the amount of money they've spent as a club since they've been promoted, they should be doing better, really. And I think, you know, Sam touched on it. Danny Ings has been poor, and I really rated Danny Ings before he left. And when he went to Villa, I thought that's a decent signing, but they just haven't quite clicked. And it kind of, because Villa do have the money, it will be exactly the same in the summer. Throw a bit of money at it, get the right players in, then it will be all right. Yeah. But I think he's the right appointment. I think long term as well. And you got to remember, I know he's a good coach, but he's coming into the Premier League. He needs time to adapt. I think when we played him, you could see he's got a clear identity, but it's coming up against top teams. It's not as easy as just walking in and turning them into a top 10 side. But I think he's a good coach. I do genuinely believe he's a good coach.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. I'm aware Don will need to leave us very, very soon, or now. Will you need to leave now? You'll need to.
No, I can stick around till the hour. Don't worry.
All right. Okay. Cool. Let me. I'll ask you first, and then I'll let you shoot. Spurs, obviously, no shots on target now for the last 2 games in that hunt for top 4. But more so, I want to chat to you about Conte and, you know, these links to PSG. Apparently, his representatives are pimping him out. Maybe he goes there, and could we see the return of Poch at Tottenham? I seen something today from the guy who's always comes back to Lampard, but he licks Lampard's ass basically. I forget his name. Matt Law, potentially.
Don't even go there.
Don't go there, bro.
That triggers me. Full on.
That's the biggest Chelsea kiss arse guy in media history.
Yeah. He was the one who was congratulating Frank when Tuchel won the Champions League. But he was saying that apparently Spurs are looking at Potter and stuff as well, because I've seen Matt Hayes respond to it like, what? But they are apparently looking that far ahead. Do you think Conte could leave in the summer and we see the return of Poch?
Only Tottenham Hotspur, honestly. Like, it's just... So if there's a club like... Listen, Everton are run illogically because of the way they sign players. Tottenham Hotspur is also run illogically. Like, everything Tottenham do just beats logic. What's the point of sacking Pochettino, getting in Mourinho, getting in Conte, and then after your whole cycle finishes, you get Pochettino back again? So what was the point of sacking him? Might as well just have stuck with him and, you know, been in top 4 and shit like that, given him some money. I think it just makes no sense with this Pochettino stuff. First of all, I don't think PSG are going to get Conte. I think the PSG job has Zinedine Zidane written all over it, because of course PSG, there's one thing that they want. If you go right now, speak to the PSG owner, tell him we're going to take away your last 5 league titles for 1 Champions League, he'll happily take it. They 100% won the Champions League. Conte is the wrong appointment in terms of he doesn't do well in knockout competitions, full stop. Even if it's cup competitions like the FA Cup or the Italian Cup, etc. He just doesn't do well in them. Like, I think he's only won, 1 or 2 Italian Cups in his whole time. Didn't win any cups in England, I think. So, like, I just feel like with Antonio Conte and his record in the Champions League, even I think got Inter like to the Europa League one season from the group stages. So that would just not make any sense. Tottenham getting Pochettino would also make not any sense, because literally, like, it would just be you going back to the cycle you started to begin with. Like, there would be no difference of getting Pochettino back in again. It's just like these wrong decisions will somehow just cause a massive Tottenham downfall someday, and we'll just sit here and look at it and go like, they went to Mourinho to try get a trophy, sacked him a week before he actually could compete for a trophy. And I still believe deep down, if Mourinho was the manager, they win that Carabao Cup.
They have a chance, don't they, for sure? They do have a chance.
100%. Yeah. And then they get in, what's his name? Nuno Santo, who was also a defensive manager. Kind of didn't make sense at the time, ended up sacking him. Now they go get a manager in his prime per se, a fantastic manager. 99% of the clubs in Europe would take him. Don't back him properly in the January transfer window. In my opinion, they didn't back him properly. Didn't back him properly in the January transfer window. And now, it seems like they're probably not even going to give him what they promised him in the summer. So I just do not understand the point of Spurs, because if I was in their position, we have been watching football for a long time. 10 years ago, if I tell you Spurs would have Antonio Conte as their manager and be in a Champions League final and stuff, you'd have laughed at me, because Spurs were possibly, I think, maybe in Wolves, Villa, Crystal Palace bracket 10 years ago. Pochettino did the fantastic job that he did, got them to Champions League football, etc. Amazing. But then the decisions they've made after Poch have just been so weird. And in my opinion, if they sack Conte and get Poch back in again, it literally is you just starting the cycle all over again for no reason whatsoever. I think back Conte, give Conte the money, proven winner, just even win a Carabao Cup, win an FA Cup, win something. Even if you qualify for Europa League, win the Europa League, just so you can get, the first trophy on the table. I think West Ham are going to win Europa League this season, by the way. So, just get the first trophy, on the table and take it from there. But their decisions are weird, Tottenham anyway. And I think Arsenal are going to get top 4. And I said this long ago as well. I'm still on the Arsenal train, even though they lost 3 in a row. I think they're probably the most consistent out of all the inconsistent clubs.
I think Arsenal will get top 4. Spurs, Leicester at the weekend. Did they get a result? Did they get a shot on target, Don?
You mean against Liverpool?
No, Leicester. I think they've got Leicester at the weekend, haven't they, Spurs?
Oh, yeah. I think you're talking about the Brentford game where they ended up drawing 0-0. Brentford were the better team as well, and Leicester coming up as well. Leicester and Spurs have this weird rivalry going on as well, like because of what happened in the season where Leicester won the league. Where Vardy and Kane were like subtweeting at each other and blah blah blah. So I don't think this is a written in the stars win for Spurs, because if they lose against Leicester or Leicester get a draw, it might be good night Vienna for the Champions League. So yeah.
Well, mate, thank you. I don't know if you want to jump now, because I know you've got another stream to jump onto. So I'll let you bid adieu. Thank you as always for coming on, Don. Thanks.
Thank you for having me. Enjoyable as always. And come on, Leeds, come on.
Yes.
I will see you.
See you later, man. Nice one. What a guy. Make sure you follow Don Hassam as well. This is Football, his channel. It is in the description along with Kendall's. Yeah, Corey, so Spurs, no shots on targets in 2 games now. Got Leicester at the weekend. Do you think they're out at the top 4? I'm still convinced it's not done yet, just because of how to-ing and throwing we've had. Do you know what I mean?
It's not done, mate, I don't think. I think Arsenal get it, but I don't think it's done. I watched them against Brentford, like Sam was saying. I thought Brentford were a better team, to be honest.
Yeah. It was a rubbish game, that though, weren't it, by the way?
Yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I was just more interested in watching Christian Eriksen play, because at the minute he's pinging balls around left, right and centre, and he's loving life. But yeah, I think they'll get a result against Leicester. I think they'll beat them. I think Leicester obviously played yesterday, I think, in the conference league.
Yeah, that's right. So, 1-1, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, if you're Brendan, you throw everything at that competition. If you can win that and get in the Europa, that's kind of, I think it'd be safe anyway, but that's kind of in territory of I've had a good season because I've won a trophy.
Yeah, of course.
Won the FA Cup last year, and I've got still in European football. So I think Tottenham will get something. I think it'll be 2-1.
Yeah. And their top four rivals, mate, take on yourselves at the weekend. Is it a case like you, a bit like Leicester, that you're all eggs in one basket? Are you that fussed at the weekend? I know it's a London game, but
I'm not. Sounds awful. I'm really not that bothered. I am. Obviously want to do well and hopefully get a result or a point or whatever. But listen, after that Chelsea game, we rested so many players that I think Moyes basically said, look, we need to throw everything at the Europa League. And look, I still think, in spite of the result, still think we're in it. So I think we rest. I think we go to a back 5. I think we bring Noble back in. I think Yarmolenko starts. I can genuinely see that. So we are pinning our hopes. And it's a shame, really, in a way. I mean, look, I'm loving being in a semi-final, but I think when we played against Chelsea and even Arsenal, I would have said, we had a fully fit team and we had a week off, we could have competed and got some points in those games. But how can I sit here and say we've got to go full tilt against Arsenal? I can't really.
No. Yeah, and worst comes to worst, obviously, if you do get knocked out away in Germany, and you don't make it, what's the aspirations for the rest of the season then? Where do you see you finishing?
I think we got to get. I think we have to. It sounds a bit harsh because obviously our squad's really thin and we've had a long season. But for me, we've got to be minimum in Europe. I think 7th. I don't care whether it's called the Conference League. I'm not really that bothered. I think for the club, it's a massive. Next season's huge. It always feels like that a little bit, and I know there's a lot going on. But listen, there's players coming out the door. Declan again. There's rumours of clubs coming in for him. So we need to invest. We need European football to keep up that trajectory. And it's a crazy thing. I think they said that if we qualify for Europe, it's the first time West Ham have been able to have back-to-back top 7 finishes in the Premier League, which is so good. We need as a club we need that. And I think the only thing that's helping us at the minute is Wolves are struggling as well, and they aren't picking up the points that they should. And United look pretty ropey, to be honest.
Rubbish. Man United are rubbish, man. Rubbish. What did you make to Moisey having a go at well, he didn't have a go, he didn't know who he was, did he? Fabrizio Romano, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, I loved it, mate.
One of the local boys, did I?
Do you know what? It's weird when you got a manager where you you're fanboy over the things he says in the media because he doesn't get it. He's old school and he doesn't have a clue who Fabrizio Romano is. And I just thought he's dealing of this situation with Declan because he knows that the rumours around him are rife all the time. And in fact, with a lot of things, I think he gets spot on and I think he protects a lot of the players. So I liked it. I did like it. Fabrizio had the ump in the comments. He said, he didn't say I was wrong though. He don't care, man.
Was he in the comments, bro?
Yeah, he was going, but he didn't say that wasn't true. And I'm like, that's true. But he basically went, you can just stop all asking me about it now. And I think that's the line you got to toe. Like that's how you keep hold of your players and you look after them. So I think a lot of West Ham fans pretty much like that one.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it as well, mate. I seen you retweet it and said, get in there. There we have it then, bro. I think that's we'll wrap up another show. I'm a tired boy. I think you're very tired as well. It's going to be a good weekend of football though, at both ends of the table. Title race coming in, you've got the relegation top 4. It's going to be a good one. I will be busy tomorrow. Those that are watching now, if you want to join me, we're going to do Newcastle, Liverpool. We're going to do Watford, Burnley, and then we're going to finish with Leeds versus City. So it's going to be back to back to back to back. So make sure you join me for that, folks. Make sure you check out Corey's channel as well. Link is in the description. And I'll probably see the majority of you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you on the next stream or after the City post match or whatever. But yeah, thanks as always for watching the show. We will be back on Monday, I believe, if Corey can make it and the rest of the team. So we'll
I'll be there. Might be sketchy for Thursday though. I'll be sweating from Tuesday onwards.
Don't worry, mate. I'll be probably doing the game on Thursday or something anyway, so it's all good. Keep it locked, people, and I will see you